Yeah.
But as far as like agents in college sports, right? You were an agent. Like, have you represented anybody at the college level? And then can you kind of go through what you, in your opinion, when a college athlete should have an agent and what they should be using an agent for?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really good amount of football and basketball clients right now on the NIL side. I'm at Ecos. Actually, Tay Lockett, who's at the University of Arkansas, is one of our guys. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely heavily involved in that space. And, that's a good question you asked about when should somebody have it. I think it's getting younger and younger, to be honest with you. And I don't know if it's necessarily that they should have it younger, but that's where the business is going. Again, when I was talking earlier, these guys have a chance to really be 18 years old and make 6 to 7 figures, if they're one of the top in their class. And so it's a lot of politics to come in that. Rankings matter more than they used to, in my opinion. The exposures matters more than they used to, in my opinion. Now with marketing, your following on social media matters. What your brand is, and so I think that obviously if you handle the first things first, which is you on the field or on the court, I think if you know that you're positioned to be one of those top guys, I do think that it's wise to have representation kind of helping you guide your career. Because again, these things happen fast, and we're talking millions of dollars here. And so the more comfortable you can be in your path being one of success, I think the better.
Right. Which my thing is being in this space, I've seen athletes that I don't think they were ready to have an agent yet.
Yeah, for sure.
Have an agent, and it's
For
like
sure.
they might be getting a small percentage, and all their agent's doing is just looking over the rev share contract, and really they're
Yeah.
just telling them to sign it and taking 5%, which you could
Yeah.
pay an attorney to do that. So
Yeah.
like that was kind of where I was getting at. Like I think agents are great, but it's like I think you
Sure.
got to be in a position where they really can do something for you.
Yeah, I also think that that's in any career. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There are people who are really good at what they do, and there are people who get taken advantage of. I think there are attorneys that take advantage of people. I think there are, law enforcement. I think there are doctors. I think it's also on, the person and the family to have discernment on what the best decision is, and to ask the right questions. And again, with that, you're always going to have some non-success stories. But at the same time, I think that it's one where I just saw on First Take this morning, Jerry Jones was talking about, if Doris Pickens, does this conversation with me without an agent, he'd save himself millions of dollars. And it's like, yeah, but he's 25 years old, you know what I mean? And you've been negotiating contracts since before he's been alive. So how wise is it really to have that conversation with him? You know what I mean? And on the flip side, with these college athletes, I was under the impression, right, when I was getting recruited, I'm trying to impress this coach to give me an opportunity. You know what I mean? And so it's about me being on my best behavior. It's about me carrying myself the right way so that this coach can give me a scholarship and we can be good. Now those same coaches who look at it like, man, I got your best interest, they're also trying to save dollars and cents so they can use it at a different position or so that they can add your replacement at that same position. You know what I mean? And so it is more so who's going to be my voice for me. And some people may have the ability to do it on their own, but not everybody does. And I do see some kids getting taken advantage of by somebody they looked at like they care for me, but they care about their family and their job a little more. You know what I mean? And so I do think that it's wise to have representation. And now, listen, you can negotiate what you need to in terms of what you pay that person, but I do think it's wise to consider it if you're talking real money. And by
Right.
real money, I mean, 6 or 7 figures.
For sure. And I would say that my advice to athletes would just be go and get as informed as possible. Like if you
Yeah,
don't know what rev share is or NIL is or how to really do the stuff first, like you need to go learn that so that way someone doesn't take advantage of you with it.
for sure.